Hey, what's going on? So I'm back. So I don't know if, did y'all see, there was a viral post that just like happened recently, right? What do you say when it's a viral post? It just happened recently or it was just posted recently, whatever. Anyway, so there's this viral post about this young African queen, right? And she went to an interview and she had on, it was a pretty business casual outfit, right? But it had shorts, right? So the post went viral talking about whether she should have wore shorts or not, or how she was right or wrong, or whatever the case may be. So when she went to the interview, right, they told her, they gave her two options. Either she could go home, change clothes, and come back, or she could find a different job. Now, on her way back to the interview room, she saw a Caucasian male or something like that with shorts on. So it really didn't help their case much, right? But the post went viral. A lot of people were upset. Who cares what you wear? Blah, blah, blah. And I got some feedback for it, right? It sparked a lot of good conversation, I think. And I think that people should be open-minded to some of the feedback that was going on both sides, right? Sorry for that one candidate that loves that word, that phrase, right? But I think that, so I have about 15 years in professional HR, right? I've been doing HR in a capacity for about 15 years. I'd say that it's always safest to keep things pretty business casual when you're doing an interview. I can appreciate the arguments on the outfit, the debate rather, on the outfit. Why? Because I'm telling you, like, this queen, she looked good, right? She had, her hair was done, nails done, right? She looked, I don't know what the job was, so that also adds to, you know, that's important, right? But her top was nice, very well business casual kind of top. Wasn't nothing too loud or too, right? And I get it. Like some of the debate was like, who determines the too much, the too loud, the too, there's the limits in which people, when you're interviewing, you should be in, right? Solid. That's some great questions, right? So after I saw it and I saw the post and, was reading a lot of comments and stuff like that, I was like, man, this is something we don't talk about this enough, right? And we need to talk about it. So I figured with, just a little bit of the smarts that I have, in that space of HR, I think I wanted to share a couple notes on it. So, I believe that employers need to first understand that they are responsible to maintain a level of consistency throughout the organization. And I'm gonna tell you, as someone who's conducted interviews before and has been all involved in the interview process, interviewing, viewing, learning about, or screening candidates is a part of your organizational process, right? So don't think that just because this person hasn't been hired yet, that this process, that you can just kind of freestyle the way you do it, because you got to think about this, the dynamics of what you introduce to that person on that interview day is also key, right? How you show yourself, how you show your organization. And then you got to think, like, we're not talking about, like, all jobs aren't, this, you shouldn't look at it like this low level, you don't know what it is, right? Some jobs, you think about like headhunters, whatever, they're searching for the right fit as well. And they're doing it in a very aggressive manner, right? They're lining up candidates that are competing well against each other, right? And there are very few factors in some cases that separate those candidates, right? And especially in higher level positions, Your resume is a piece, but how your interview goes, your reputation and several other things matter as well. So I think that when you think about like interviewing and what you wear, you gotta know that sometimes that tells a story, right? That you may or may not get a chance to add details to, if that makes sense, right? What you wear, how you present yourself is going to tell a story for you. And so, yeah, think about that, right? If you get an opportunity to have this long-winded, these additional details, right? Where are you from? Tell me about yourself, blah, 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 right? That's great. But what if they're in a time crunch? And instead of me having 30 minutes to an hour with each candidate, I only have 5 to 10 minutes to make a decision on where I want to place them in my pool of candidates. All right. There's not really any, you don't owe a candidate 30 minutes to an hour, right? If you have that available within your process, you have it available. If you don't, you have to, but the key is being fair, right? Being fair, obviously. So I think that shorts, let me tell you what my recommendations are, right? When it comes to an interviewing process, or if you are a prospect, right? I think that, so I'll do it like this. First of all, I want to welcome you to my channel. All right. This is World Wealth and Success in Motion, Mr. J. Howard. Today I want to dive deeper into some interview tips, as well as some things to help you be prepared. We'll talk about outfits, what to wear, what not to wear. I'm gonna give you all of that. I'm gonna give you some secrets that I've learned, and I'll even tell you some things that I've closed my interview with at the end that has helped me land the job, right? And some opening statements, right? So, and don't worry, I'm safe, I'm hands-free, and I'm gonna be stopping moving in just a second. So let's dive in, let's talk. All right. So I'm keeping my phone secure, making sure this rattle is not bothering y'all. So I apologize if so. All right. Attire. So the first thing is, if it's a business casual type job, all right, corporate or formal role, I'm going to recommend a suit. I just am, right? And I know that like the elements of what makes up a suit has changed so much. I know that, nowadays you can do a suit top, nice shirt and tie, some slacks, and some sneakers. I got you, right? And I don't feel as if that is the right place to do the sneakers with the suit. But I'm gonna tell you, I've seen some very fly outfits, and if I were interviewing you, I probably would let you get away with it. I think it just depends on the role. And then sometimes you have to think too, some high level professional opportunities, you may wear a suit more often, right? And then in some, you may have business casual suit / you get what I'm saying? For me, if you go into an interview, go ahead and do a full suit in that type of space, right? I mean, bring the shoes out, right? I think that it's good to stay in the classic navy, black or gray, paired with like a light colored shirt. When it comes to ties, I think that I would stay away from sports logos. I'll tell you why. I'm a Knicks fan. And up until about the last 3 years or so, it's been really hard to be a Knicks fan, like all my life. Shout out my dad, who is the reason why I'm a Knicks fan. And if you walk into an interview with a tie with a bunch of sports logos on them, I'm going to tell y'all, especially down south, hey man, people serious about their sport. You say Clemson and they roll tide, and you got yourself a problem, right? You know, I think that, and I'm joking a little bit with this, but I'm serious. Stay away from sports logos. If you're a fan, that's great. And if it can be something without like a multi-pattern, you know, or a distraction, like just a repeated logo over and over and over, right? Be prepared to tell the story behind it, right? If you brave, go for it. I'm telling you what I wouldn't do, all right? But if you brave, go for it. Not recommended, all right? Be prepared to tell the story behind it. Maybe you have a very good story behind it. My dad played, my father played, I played, I got some team spirit, whatever, right? Make sure it matched though. Don't come in there and look, all right? So for creative or business casual roles or settings, express yourself, right? It could be blazer, slacks, well-chosen dress shirt. Just remember, when you dress, you're dressing for the role, right? You're dressing to tell your story. So you're going to be yourself, but you want to show yourself off in a polished way, if that makes sense, right? So this is your opportunity, all right? Footwear, we kind of talked about. I'm going for the closed-toe shoes, right? Loafers, flats, heels, ladies, neutral tones. I'm never going in flip-flops or sandals. Just not doing it. I know you got the, you know, the new sandal flip-flop Yeezy. I got you, right? I got you, right? The Crocs. But listen, that's not interview attire. It shows that you're ready to jump into business from day one. Even if the office is more laid back, I would say aim for a slightly more formal look in the interview, and it's gonna build a strong first impression by showing a story of professionalism. So remember, I told you, you know, sometimes you get a chance to add details to that story. Sometimes your story's short, but your outfit can speak a lot more. So be careful. Accessories, all right? I've seen the loudest of the loud, and then I've seen quiet and just short. Look, I wear 2 necklaces every day, you know, usually a bracelet, you know. Shout out my Sigmas out there. I'm probably wearing a Sigma band to show my fraternity. Go Mob. Maybe a watch, couple rings, something like that, right? Not nothing like ridiculously, you know, loud, but make it like, I feel like we could tell, if we're interviewing you, we could tell a lot of times what you were trying to get out of that, right? And I'll tell you, I'm the type of guy, if I'm in the interview and it's something that I ain't never seen before, and if I've never seen it before, or it's just like, it just stands out to me, I'm gonna ask you, tell me about your necklace, right? And a lot of times, just to give y'all a hint, that is to see how you respond, right? It's off script, right? It's no real, you know, I want to know your story behind that. Tell me about your necklace is nice. Can you tell me about it? Right? But do something that's going to be creative but still neat. All right? Make sure, if you're going to make yourself stand out with it, that it's not causing a distraction. All right? Grooming. Hair. I've seen a lot of debates about this online, right? In my opinion, keep your nails clean, fresh. Style your hair in a way that's you, but neat. And remember, listen, brothers, sisters, like, don't take the word and just be like, oh, that's subjective. I got you. I support that. Style does not have to mean that it fits any type of racial expectations. Like, this is too big, or this is too small, or that's too curly, that's too coiled or not coiled. Stop it. That's not, if that organization has that type of mindset, that's not the one you want anyway, right? I'm bald. You know what I'm saying? And if I could only grow hair in a spot, you're not going to tell me that because I'm growing hair in just that spot, my hair is not neat, or because my hair is coiled or locked or not. Like, stop, right? And for you, if you are trying to figure out a way to style your hair and you're trying to, you're worried that some of that is going on, I'm going to tell you, like, first of all, if it's for you, it's for you, right? Somebody upstairs that you need to talk to about that, right? But Also, like, just understand that having neat, styled hair, you got some flexibility there, right? You know what neat and styled look like. You know what groomed looks like, right? Nobody's gonna tell you if that's long or short. I would say with colors, do what makes sense, right? I know in the military, they have a very strict guideline, and they're opening up some stuff in the military, but for the most part, if you could be born, like if it could be a natural color, like the military is going with it. So, you got naturally colored redhead. So just be mindful of that. Again, still be creative. Show something professional that's authentic to you, that represents you. You know what I'm saying? And you got this, right? Let's talk about the shorts and the dresses, because this was the whole topic of the video, right? So here's the deal. I am staying away from shorts and dresses. Ladies, I recommend you stay away from shorter dresses. I get that there's a lot of stuff out there, and it's based on the trends, and I got it. And you may look good. We may look good, right? If that's what you go for. But remember, you're trying to separate, right? This is not you trying to be someone else, but you're showing that you can separate your mindset on the clock, off the clock, right? That doesn't mean that you're a person that can't have fun or look good, or nobody's trying to conform you to boring, right? Or not you. All right. But in this setting, it's a couple things that you should avoid, and you should want to avoid these things, because again, I want the focus to be on me as a candidate and what I offer, what I'm bringing to this organization, why you should hire me, why you should pay me more, why am I the candidate that you need to press go on, and not whoever else been in this room or in this seat, or whatever the case may be. And I don't want you to take focus off of that because you feel like my shorts are too short, or my clothing is too tight, or too I just don't want you to focus in that area. So if I can keep you focused on what's coming out of my mouth and what I bring to the table, that's where I know I do my best, right? I don't want you distracted. You called me in here because you were obviously impressed with either a previous conversation, impressed with a recommendation, or impressed with my resume. Now I got to finish the job, right? And I'm going to tell you, I'm the type of person, I don't know if you hear it in my voice, but I'm the type of person, you give me a microphone, I'm going to talk, and I'm going to talk my talk, you know what I'm saying? And I encourage you, if you are going into a setting where you are a candidate of such, and you have an opportunity to sell yourself better than the others, when they give you that microphone, which is sitting you in that chair, standing, however the interview is conducted, that's your time to talk that talk, right? Don't be cocky, but it's okay to be confident. You got me? All right. So avoid the shorts and the shorter dresses, because we just don't have time for those type of distractions, right? I want you to focus on my qualifications, right? Let me give you some interview etiquette and a couple final touches. Now, this is where you're gonna feel you need to like touch on your confidence a little bit, and you're gonna enjoy this. All right, so here we go. The first thing is, I'm gonna tell you straight up, you better be on time. Listen, I am in there with the mindset of 15 minutes. All right, 15 minutes. I want you in there. And listen, things come up, man. Things come up. And if you are, although people are looking for you to be early, and yes, they are. I don't know why I heard some people on YouTube with the show up this time. Man, be early. Listen, be early. Right? That's impressive. And I want that type of person in my organization. All right. So be early and go from there. All right. If something comes up, because we all, if we're blessed, we're in this life together, right? Something comes up, call. And people do understand, right? People understand. Bear with me one moment. All right, people understand. So if you need to be late or you're going to miss it and you need to reschedule, make the phone call. Tell the truth, you know, and then go from there. But try, man. Give your best effort. And when you get an opportunity to go seal that deal, you make sure you apologize for being tardy or for being absent at your original meeting. And you thank them for the opportunity to come back and finish the job. You there to get that job, right? Make sure they know. All right. I think that when you arrive, it's also important to have a few things with you, right? You already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your resume. I'm talking about a notepad and a pen. Listen, you there to analyze them just as much as they there to analyze you, right? You come and prepare with some questions because you did some research before you came there. You're not gonna be that person that's like, do you have any questions? No, I'm good. No, yes, I do. Right? And I'm gonna give y'all a tip at the end of a question that I love. And if you say this to me and I'm interviewing you, I'm telling you right now, you in a good space. All right? You in a good space. So, you know, have at least one question ready, right? I like to say have three, have three ready. Shoot one, see how that conversation go, if it goes in a conversation or however, whatever the case may be. If it gets extremely long, maybe cut it to two, right? But be aware that interviewers like questions, so don't be afraid of that. Shows that you're interested, shows that you're engaged, shows that you've been paying attention, you did some research. All right, let's talk fragrance. Right? So keep the cologne or the perfume light-ish, right? I am a fan of smell goods. And if you come in and you smell good, you got my attention, right? I want to know, especially if it's something that, oh man, I might even ask you, probably not to take away from the questions or whatever, but before you leave, I might say, hey, what's your fragrance? What's the title of your fragrance? So I want to look that up. That smells really good, right? And just give you a compliment. I'd say that, for my smokers out there, I got you. Do your thing, right? But if you're using scented lotion and it's strong and it's distracting, my smokers, you come in and it's distracting, we don't need that. We don't need that, right? So make sure you tone that down. Do what you need to do to make sure you're ready, right? So finishing touches, I'm going to tell you right now, avoid coming in chewing gum. Get your breath and stuff together before you come in. Listerine strips, do your thing while you out there in the lobby or whatever the case may be. And I'm giving these tips as if it's like this same situation. I understand everybody's situation is different. I got you, right? Excuse me, but make sure you get all that stuff together. I know they got the little toothbrush finger things. Tighten up, make sure it's fresh, right? Some drops, whatever. But don't do the gum. Try not to do the chewing gum. Might fall out your mouth. You might choke on it. You ever choked on the gum? Like, yeah, that's horrible. It'd be the smallest piece too, all right? Mints, you don't want to be chewing and crunching or doing your interview, right? I need you to sit up straight. Sit up straight. Make sure they focused on the things they need to be focused on and fix your stature and make sure you right? Make eye contact, all right? That shows confidence. That shows trust. It shows focus, right? It shows that you're not afraid of the like, you don't have a fear of the things that are like unknown, but you're ready for them and you're ready to look them dead in the eye, right? And take on your challenges, right? You're not gonna run and hide from, oh my God, I can't, right? So be careful with that. Hoodies, I'm telling y'all, I got it. If it's raining, and I understand, but by the time I get to see you, it's essential to make sure you got all that off. I want to see your interview outfit. Take that hoodie off. I've seen people say, uh-oh, let me take this off. And somebody say, well, you're good. Like, and they were just seeing what you was, it was a setup. I'm sorry. I'm no longer with that organization, right? And they kept the hoodie on. No. take your stuff off. Same thing with a raincoat, whatever. If you could take it off, is there somewhere I could sit this, right? All right. Now let me give y'all some gems, right? These like the diamonds. Here's some closing statements that I've used that have made an interview or just, whoa, okay, like that's what's up, right? One is about like, look, I'm very interested in this role. I feel confident that I'll be a great fit. Could you let me know how soon I'd be hearing back for you, or possibly what day I'll be starting? And just look at them. All right, cool, right? Here go another one for you. Listen, very thankful for this opportunity. I think this interview went well. I was glad to learn more about your organization. I hope you learned a lot about me. Could you show me where I'd be working? All right, well, sure, let's take you back, right? And then you walk around, they say this is possible where the candidate would be working. This is your, if you want to throw a little bit more seasoning, you know, where's your lounge, right? You know, where would I be warming up my lunch? And sometimes you get a giggle out of it. Sometimes if they don't have time, you know, so be careful, right? Feel the scene, feel the room, right? Make sure it makes sense. And if you can slide that in, go for it, right? Thank you for this opportunity. I'm genuinely excited about the potential. And I'd love to know what's a potential starting date, or how soon were you looking to get the right candidate started? What would be my start date, right? So feel free to kind of play around with that and make it make sense for what you need to get out of it, and where you feel comfortable too. Be prepared for the response, right? Don't say something and then they respond and they throw you off, right? Be prepared for the response. They may respond with like, how did you know you're going to be the candidate? All right, well, because I believe that I'm best qualified, right? You know, any type of responses they could throw, right? I'm one of those quick shooters. So for me, I'm ready. I like to play. We can go tennis, right? Round for round, right? Look, you know, to really close it out, remember that your outfit and your preparation really do say a lot about you and your commitment. It says a lot about your professionalism. If you nail these details down that we talked about and you go into that interview ready to succeed, listen, success is going to come your way, right? So I'm going to leave y'all. Have fun with these videos today, and I'm going to bring y'all some more tips, right? Been doing HR for a little while. I like it a lot, obviously, if I've been doing it for a while. But I got some other dreams and aspirations, so I want to share some tips of some things that have worked for me. Hopefully they work for you. And I'm enjoying the conversation. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let me know some things I might have missed. You know, let me know if there's some things that have worked for you. Let me know if you're going to try those closing statements, or if you've tried them before, maybe the feedback that you got. You know, let me know some good cologne tips if you have some suggestions. Let's talk about it in the comments. Look, I'll see you next time. World Wealth and Success with Mr. J. Howard. I appreciate you. All right.